Organissima, New York. Your exotic skin, hair, and beauty source, and your one-stop shop for all your natural and organic skin and hair care, featuring authentic organic Moroccan oil and prickly pear seed oil and much more. Bringing you only the best, straight from the source and proudly produced in the USA. So what are you waiting for? Shop today at www.organissima.com. Organissima, New York. Your beauty is our duty.
Hey everyone, John C. Morley here, and I am with my famous duo,
Eric and Age.
And together we make up the fabulous team of the show, Double Impact. Welcome everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. Great to have you with us in 2023.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a week, right?
Yeah, it's been a week. But I'm still saying Happy New Year because I think people are still writing 2022 on their checks. So if that's you, then you probably should stop.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can. You know, I've been, guilty of that one in the past. So so far so good, but I've had that problem.
The bank still honors the check, so I think it'll still go through.
It's a good check, right? He's got money, I hope. I mean, I'll take any check if it has money. Give me $1 million, I'll accept it if it's 2022. So if you have,
sometimes I get people, they write the checks out to the wrong name. So what do you mean? Well, it's close, isn't it? I said, yeah, it's close. But like that's not close enough. Like I was like, you got to be at least somewhat. You have to have some part of the name in there.
Hey, listen, it has to be right. I mean, somebody's gonna have to take that money. Otherwise, you claim, I never gave them the check.
You can have less letters, but not more letters, because then it becomes a different company.
Well,
so if they add an extra letter or something to our name, well, that's a problem. But if they put less letters and they don't spell them, well, they kind of think they're meaning us.
I love it. We got a comment here. Hold on. What's that? If you're still writing checks in 2023, Vincent, we're just having fun. I mean, you do still write checks sometimes, but it's all online, baby. It's all bill pay, unfortunately. But
people are still in that mental outlook, Vincent, that I think they just want to, I don't know if they don't want 2022 to go over, or if maybe they have some things they still want to finish in 2022. And maybe that's the subconscious saying, hey, you're not ready for 2023. There's a lot of stuff you had to do yet.
Well, again, if you were literally writing checks, still manually, whatever, and you always used to 2022, it takes a minute actually to get adjusted to the week and the month. And
the software does it automatically for me. So I think we haven't written checks in several years. We do everything ACH now.
Oh, I mean,
no more writing checks.
It's all auto pay. It's all
auto pay. We have our landlord we pay, and they don't. They're from the dinosaur ages, so they don't take checks like electronic checks. So our bank does bill pay. And what's great, you click the button, you schedule it, it comes out of the account, it hits them by the date, so you don't pay them early.
Listen,
and it's free.
It makes your life a lot simpler when you automate all the stuff. I mean, you do have to check every now and then because, sometimes things shift, whatever. You want to make sure it's the correct stuff otherwise, and you always got to test it out the first run. But hey, anyways, I mean, we're not here talking about banking and checks, but it is Happy New Year, and you know what?
Happy, healthy, amazing, wonderful, prosperous, abundant 2023 to all of you watching tonight.
Yeah, well, and Vincent, you're with us today, so Happy New Year to you, man.
Yes, Happy New Year to you, Vincent. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in New Year's, a lot of people want to set goals, which we talked about that before. But in order to set goals, you have to first understand what is your principle. What I mean by that is there's different learning modalities. So tonight, one of the ones I want to talk about was Audible. So if you're an Audible learner, then you're going to want to hear things like our podcast. You're going to want to be in discussions. You love spelling bees. You like to play with the sounds and the tonalities. However, some people might not be auditory learners. So they're not being nasty to you. They're just catering to their own preferences. And when they do that, it seems like they're being nasty to you. They're not. They just don't know any better. So sometimes you have to educate them and say, hey, bud, I know you may not be an auditory learner, but hey, I am. So could you maybe give me some sounds, or can you talk to me a little bit about that? I think it's important in the words you use. Is this ringing clear with everyone? Sound like a bell? Is it starting to click? Or is you starting to get the hum of the vibe we're creating here on the show for you to have a great year?
I think people are getting it. but you know what? Listen, this is, again, we're talking about New Year's. We're about a week away from the New Year, festivities. But really, it's the whole year. I mean, it's okay. We can catch up to the whole thing and readjust and reestablish. Doesn't matter. As long as we do, right? As a matter of fact, I just put a quote yesterday, and we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And so.
Yes, exactly. We said that. Yes, absolutely. We got to push that envelope just a little bit further each day.
Well, it is hard, and sometimes it's just tough to make a difference, to make a shift, to make an adjustment, to adapt to new things. And if you look back, you probably can see, whoever's watching, listening right now, this, you've been there before. You've probably seen yourself changing, jobs, careers, places, move, this, that, the other. Relationships, whatever it is. So therefore, you can learn from that, and it happens, and you're here today. So what happened for a reason, and you're here today. And that means you can also do it again. This time you just do it from experience and maybe doing better. That's all. But at the end of the day, it can benefit everybody, and that's the bottom line to it.
There are no coincidences in life. There are no coincidences. And how many out there play sports? I mean, I play golf, and you guys play golf. So the first time I played golf, hundreds of years ago, I had the club, and I was on JV, couldn't hit the club for nothing. And then I got better at it, and I played varsity only my sophomore year. But you know what happened? I got out of playing golf when I graduated, and I got lazy. See, golf is a sport. It's not like riding a bike where you ride it and it sticks with you. No. Golf, you got to keep doing it, or there's somebody says, hey, you're not using it? I'm taking it back. I'm taking it right back. I'm taking it back from you. So after I graduated college, I couldn't hit the ball to save my life. I kept topping it and all the crazy things. So I got a pro who I've been playing with for a long, long time. And what we do is very interesting. We don't take driving lessons because that's like prolonging golf. That's procrastinating golf. I said, why don't we do playing lessons? I mean, you have to know how to hit the ball first. But when he first started with me, I was topping every ball. Bang, bang, bang. But what he said to me, John, is he said, you got to be uncomfortable. His name's Jason. I said, Jason, what do you mean? He says, John, he says, the way you're holding your club. He says, you're holding the club, he says, we got to change your grip. I said, oh, Jason, I don't know if I do that. I was like, I'm really comfortable. I know, John, you got to just be a little uncomfortable with changing the pinky in the position and now swing. Oh, wow, that's a lot better. Yeah, so it's going to be uncomfortable for a little while. But you know what happens? I have a better golf swing. And my ball goes 250, 300 yards. But it's a little uncomfortable when somebody say, well, you got to hold the club like this. What are you, crazy? What are you, drunk? No. That's how you have to hold the club and you got to swing all the way through, like not halfway through. So I think being uncomfortable is something in life that we're taught that we shouldn't do because it has pain. We said the only reason they have hospitals is because people want to stay out of pain. They don't want to stay in pleasure. I mean, I wish they'd want to stay in pleasure, but they want to get out of pain, right? Nobody thinks about being proactive. They think about being reactive. And I'm not just talking about health. I'm talking our entire life. Well, we better call somebody because the ceiling's going to collapse. It looks like it's collapsing. We're not going to call them before it's even a problem. We call them when it's a problem. Isn't that the case, HH? It's like we wait till there is a problem.
We're reactive.
instead of proactive. We could talk about this with technology. My dad had been having a challenge for a while. He had a lapendectomy a while back. He had his 2 knees done. And over the holidays, he's still been in pain. Every time he moves, get in the car, he's yelling and screaming, saying a few 4-letter choice words. And there's nothing we could do for him. And so he went to go get a scan done. I think it was just the other day. And he went for the open MRI. Unfortunately, I don't know what MRI he went to. It was open. He said it sounded like they were shooting at him. I said, that shouldn't be. I guess the MRI might have been too old. He said, bang, 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 bang. I said, that shouldn't be how the MRI works, especially not an open MRI. So their solution is to give him something so he can relax. I said, I get it, but I think there might be something wrong with that MRI machine. Like, it's making a bang noise, which is when it's making the things.
Rotation.
Now, the thing about an MRI machine, a lot of people don't understand, is that the MRI machine actually causes us to be in 2 worlds at one time. Now, you might think I'm completely nuts, but this is truthful. You can be in 2 ways. The cells can be in 2 ways, and this only can be done in MRI. This is something we talked about, the slit experiment, things like this. This is actually proving it's true. So we think it might be his hip. But he's been in a lot of pain. But my point is he's not doing anything until it's a problem. Right? We don't think about being proactive to change the roof until the roof has a problem. Computers, people don't think about changing them until it breaks. No, I have a philosophy. Every 3-4 years, whether the computer, the laptop needs replaced, I replace this on the gun. Because I know, even though I'm in the industry, the time and effort that I'm going to have when I'm out of it, that's going to be more costly and more aggravating. So I just make sure I don't have a downtime.
Well, John, we make that mistake with our health too. I mean, some people
yes, absolutely.
Preventative checks and wellness visits and stuff, annual stuff, and they wait until
even visiting the dentist. I talked to my friend. He says, "Oh, you're nuts. You go to a dentist?" I said, "Yeah, I go twice a year." He said, "Oh, you're one of those crazy people. You probably wants people to floss every day." I said, "Yeah, I floss every day. I brush for 2 minutes, then I wash, then I do again 2 minutes with the automatic brush." He said, "Let me guess, you drink that crazy stuff?" I said, "Well, I do the purple stuff." Yeah, he said, "That stuff's crazy." And then once a week, I said, "I also do the other stuff, which is kind of better for my mouth." He's like, "Yeah, you're nuts. See, I don't have time for all that stuff. I have a life." But I talked to this guy, and I said, "How you doing?" He says, "Oh, I got to go to the dentist." I said, "Oh, okay, no problem. Clean." He said, "No, he's got a root canal. I got this, I got that." I said, "Well, don't you brush your teeth?" He says, "John, I'm so busy in life. I don't have time to brush my teeth."
Well, you're not making the time to do those root canals and drills and crowns and all that stuff, and it's painful.
So when you take care of your body, you take care of your teeth. And people say you're nuts, that I do the flossing. And if I forget to floss, I'll be like, "Oh, I've gotten times I go to bed. I'm like, I got to get up and I got to floss." And I even went to the fact where I used, I had one time I was going to have a cavity, and I said, "I bet I can reverse this cavity." And guess what I did? I used raw butter. Everybody in the medical industry thought I was drunk. I was on drugs. I used raw butter for a few months. And the special thing that they give the military, the xylitol gum, that cavity went away. They thought I was nuts. They were like, "There's no way." They're like, "We never told you to cavity." I'm like, "Yeah, you did on that too." They're like, "No, you must be mistaken. We were probably talking about somebody else. You told me 2 years ago that this tooth, if I didn't do something..." You're probably confused because we talk to a lot of people. So the medical industry doesn't want to admit that holistic stuff works. A lot of it does.
Well, no, I wouldn't say everyone, but I think there is a conflict there, right?
Some.
Because holistic.
Is it because they're afraid of losing money? Because I'd pay them for the advice. Or is it because they just don't want to drink the Kool-Aid? I don't think it's they don't want to drink the Kool-Aid because the Kool-Aid is available for everybody. I think it's the fact that they're losing money. So like when I had, we've all had it before. If you have that annoyance in your tooth or here and you want to get it off, and 2 ways to do it. One, people try to brush it off. That doesn't work. People try to scratch it off. That's a bad thing. Don't do that. It'll hurt your gums. It'll also damage them. And so the other thing I did is I found this neat toothpaste. This stuff's amazing. It's called Tartar N. It's like $19 a tube. I brush with this a couple days a week. A few years later, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the tartar just melted right away. I showed the dentist. They're like, where do you buy that? I said, Amazon. No way. It's not approved by the American Dental. I said, no, it's not approved by the American Dental Association, but it's all natural. Really? I got to write that down. I got to tell my sister. You're in the dental industry as a hygienist, and you're telling me you got to tell your sister. Isn't that interesting?
No, well, there's a lot of holistic stuff or natural toothpaste base and stuff that is not necessarily FDA approved or for them at any pharmaceutical type of concept. It's all natural.
They wanted me to come back for a cleaning because they said we can't just clean one tooth, we got to clean the whole mouth, so it's a whole prophylactic. I said, well, that's a ripoff. Well, John, we have to clean the whole mouth because that tooth probably contaminated another tooth in the whole mouth, and we got to clean the whole mouth just to make sure everything is safe. I said, all I did was use tartar N for 3 days, and the problem was solved. I went back to the dentist. Dentist said to me, she says, she said, your mouth has never looked better. I said, really? Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, I can give you a lot of different things that are used worldwide that are working, and not necessarily toothpaste.
Oralive is another one. I bought this toothpaste, which is like $100 some, and it's all made with probiotics. It doesn't taste the greatest. It's mud, but I remember taking it a couple times many, many years ago. Got rid of 2 root canals. It went to the bottom. I just packed the tooth a little bit. A couple days, bam! It got rid of the infection. So I'm not saying this is for everything, but one of the things I believe, and we're not getting off on the health, our health show sometimes, is that when you have an issue, if you believe, hey, believe it, Chief, if you believe, you can solve it. Because see, if the body caused an illness, I believe the body's capable of removing the illness. But Western medicine disagrees with us.
Well, that's a whole topic that we can have a discussion.
I know.
We can have hours of that, and we can even get guests on the merits of medicine, Western, Eastern, holistic, and all that. And I've had so many shows on the Health Channel and Nutritional Channel. I mean, we've talked about so many things, and there's so many other ideologies, I would say, to help your health and wellness, and not necessarily all modern medicine, although modern medicine does exist and Western medicine has its merits. It is an industry, and we had a whole show about just what it means, because most people think doctors, unfortunately doctors today, they've changed a little bit over the decades because of cost, because of the way the business operates and so on and so forth. So they have to actually address
hospitals too. They want to do something that is XYZ. I mean, I'm perfect proof of this. I don't know if you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I broke my tib and fib without any fault of my own, without getting all the whole story. But my point is that they wanted to do surgery on my leg. I said no. Do you know I healed that leg without surgery? I used bone knit. I had my cast, and I was healed in a few months.
Well,
they said, what are you, a doctor? I said, I didn't get my degree yet. It's supposed to be mailed next week. They looked at me.
Oh, man.
So sometimes you have to do your own research. But I want to share a real interesting one with you guys. And that is, can you help me find a parking space? How many of you guys out there are frustrated with parking? Has that ever happened to you guys? You go to a parking lot, or maybe you're at a game, and you can't find a spot. Now, of course, you can pray, and yes, that spot will open up for you, but not everybody prays. But if you do pray, that spot, you can see it opens up, and then you just pull right in and you're fine. But a lot of people don't believe in that. So for those people, they're going to be frustrated for their life. Well, there's something called smart parking management systems. Really what they are is control parking. They tell you where you can park, where you can't park. Not only do they tell you, they guide you exactly to where they want you to park because they have sensors. When you pull in, thing goes red, automatically counts down to tell you when that area has no more spots. Well, the arms don't open in that area anymore. And when the garage is full, it says garage full, and you can even pay for it. But what if you were to park your car somewhere on the street? And what if I told you, HH, you have just under 5 minutes, because at 5 minutes, if you don't pay for your car, well, these new meters, New Jersey, that they installed, will take a picture of your license plate. And within moments, you'll get a ticket mailed to you for the violation of parking.
So I didn't know that. Ouch. Okay.
And if you're one of those people that always tries to beat the meter, nobody ever does that. They want to run back. They only want up there cheap. They only want to put $1 on this. Like I'm going to run back. You're not going to be able to do that because there's a time. And when that meter goes out, you have that couple minutes and bam, camera goes off. Ticket's been already sent. And
well, they do give a grace time, right? So that's
What's that?
They give you a grace time.
Yeah. So let's say you're supposed to be there it's supposed to end at 1:00. There might be a few minute grace time, but that's not a lot.
I mean, again, it is a revenue.
Suppose there's an issue. Suppose there's traffic. Suppose somebody is in the way. Somebody gets injured, and now you can't get past the ambulance that would normally take you 5 minutes to walk there, but because of the ambulance, it's going to take you 15, and now you're going to miss your grace period by 7 minutes.
Yeah, but John, you know what they're going to tell you? Oh, it's a smart meter. You have an app. You could replenish remotely.
Well, you're 100% right. But the point is this going to end frustration or is it going to cause more? And so what I say to people is this is causing a lot of challenge, even with the parking garages. What they're saying now is whether you're in the garage or you're in municipal parking, we'll help you get that spot so you know which lot to pull to so you don't drive around wasting time. But what they also do is they make sure that garage stays so profitable and so efficient that it handles everything, including violations. Plus, they even handle things like VIP parking, reserve parking, all automatically. Because their guidance parking system, GPS, will basically navigate you to where you can go and can't go. As soon as you pull out of that spot, it has already deducted the spot and waited for you to pull out of the garage, and then it says that spot is available. I mean, we're going to see more and more of this. This started a lot in Europe, and garages can get on board now for under $10,000. And they can start, and now if you don't have let's say you have a garage, they can put sensors on top, but if you have an outdoor parking lot, no problem. They have sensors that'll go in there if there's snow that are flat. There's sensors that if there's not snow. And if the car is over, it automatically detects.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, listen, I mean, it's a great concept, but you mentioned something about just the meters and the frustration.
Yes.
The meters are something we've been dealing with for many, many years. It is a revenue generating, opportunity for a lot of townships. And you know what? You park, you pay. So they don't play games with you. But you're right. I mean, it gets frustrating. I mean, you have to run. Sometimes you need to stick in a little longer. You can't, to your point, you're stuck behind somebody. And it gets a little painful. I mean, in Jersey, I have to say, it's a little less, convoluted than in New York City. But I tell
don't
you,
go to Palisades Park, New Jersey. That's where they are.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's other places where that
they're not yet. They're the first ones in New Jersey to test it, and they're hoping within 3 or 4 months to be rolling them out all over the area. Plus, the cops can still give tickets out manually if they prefer.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Well, again, I mean, a lot of these places are, automated. You put in your thing, and it's a parking spot number, whatever, and then you go and you can replenish if you want remotely.
But now you don't even do that, HH. You don't even put your parking. I was in Ridgewood the other day, and I was a little bit concerned because one time I had gotten a ticket there. Now, it was through no fault of my own. I parked the car. I put plenty of money in that stupid meter, okay? I had enough money. I probably owned the spot, all right? Okay. I came out 15 minutes early, okay? And I probably had another hour and a half on the meter. You know what? There was a violation on the meter. I'm like, how? It's impossible. Yeah. Well, there was a malfunction. I went down to the courthouse, filed a whole ticket of complaint because they were summoning me to court in a few weeks. I said, I'm going to be on vacation. I can't. Oh, no problem, Mr. Morley. We'll go ahead and we'll reschedule the court date. A court date? I mean, this is insane. Well, you could just pay the ticket. Why would I want to pay the $20 plus the $60? No, the $20 plus the $45 violation.
And you already
if you don't want to come to court, I don't think I should have to pay it. Well, then you have to pay it or you have to come to court. So I get a letter about, I'd say maybe, because they said they're going to put it off a month. Mm-hmm. About 2 weeks after I leave, not even thinking about it, I get a letter in the mail. It says, Dear Mr. Morley, we regret to inform, like, oh, no. They say, we regret to inform you. You know what that means, right? We regret to inform you that we've done an inspection of meter at such and such lot. And unfortunately, it has been found to be defective, and therefore the case is being dropped. What do you mean, unfortunately? I'm like, I'm missing something here. How is it unfortunate if it's to my benefit? It should have been like, dear Mr. Morley, we've checked out the meter, and we're happy to inform you that the case has been dropped. Not, we regret to inform you. Why the hell would you regret to inform me? And not only that, they had multiple issues with that meter and that company. I went back there for another day. I couldn't put money in the machine. So I called the cops. I said, what do I do? Oh, just because you can't put money in the machine doesn't mean you're clear. Well, what do I have to do? Oh, you got to download the app. I said, I don't want to download the app. Well, that's the only way you can pay. So that's a lousy thing. Yeah, if you don't download the app, you're going to get a ticket. So, but what I'd like to see, if they really care about the people, HH, why don't you send me an alert? Hey, John, your car is about to expire in 5 minutes. Would you like us to renew your parking for another 30 minutes? Yes.
Some apps do that. I think the one from Philadelphia has something like that. You get a notification. I think even New York.
They care. That. These people don't.
Again, I don't know.
Or have an option that if I don't respond, automatically refill my meter. I'd easily pay $2 or $3 than paying a $45 parking ticket.
Well, again, to your point, I mean, like EasyPass does that, right? It's automatically replenished when you reach that threshold, right?
But as long as you have a card on file, I have a relative of mine that never wants to give him the card, but you know what she does? She runs it right to the limit. So now it's like it says low, and then all of a sudden low, and next time it says call center, which is fine. But then she goes to a second time, it says call center, and now it snaps. She's got a violation. So now a week or two later, she's getting these things from on the following date. Your car was spotted. Spotted where? On Union such and such toll plaza. And the following thing at $100. Like, $100 for what? I was going, no. All you have to do is just dispute it. Well, what do you mean dispute it? I said, no, you didn't have enough money. I have plenty of money. You didn't have enough money in your EasyPass account. Well, why? Well, because you didn't fill it. You need to have it on auto replay. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, then you're going to have to deal with this. Oh, the heck with that. So now she decided to keep her card on file.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's auto
because that's annoying. That's annoying. They do remove the fine and the penalty as long as you're in good standing.
Well, as long as it's your vehicle and then you just, it's just one violation. I mean, but remember, John, I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real, right? I mean, we're trying to be optimistic here, but at the end of the day, there is no money in paying the parking. There's more money in paying fines for the parking. So if you are, I guess not paying attention, it costs you, and that's it. So you are motivated right now, and you have an incentive to make it properly to that meter and do what you have to do and get it done. Otherwise, it's going to cost you. It's going to be a very expensive parking. You might as well park in the parking lot.
Absolutely. And some of these garages you go into now, you can buy a pass. So when you go in, but here's the thing that I thought was really cool. So I went to Ridgewood. I was telling the story. They changed their system. Now, I was a little leery about Ridgewood already because I had almost gotten a ticket, and I don't trust them, and I'm just very leery with their meters. So I noticed they have all new meters. I said, oh, no. What is this now? Here's a location number. Here's my car. So I figured I'm going to put the location number in the meter. But I'm like, wait a minute. Every spot has the same location number. I said, something's wrong here. How can all these spots have the same number? Something's wrong. So I go to the meter.
Zone, I think.
Yeah, and it asked me to punch in my license plate. And what they do is they scan it, and as long as my license plate is one of the ones there, when the cop comes by, they can automatically tell if I've paid the meter.
Yeah, they have so many. I mean, I've seen them in Connecticut. I've seen them in Pennsylvania. So some Florida. Every state has different system. We're using a different carrier, I guess, for whatever services they provide. And their systems are just different. And I mean, the thing is, you have to adapt that every time, and you have to look, and you got to keep reading, otherwise you make a mistake.
You got to make sure you know what the heck it is. And a lot of these meters, you have to pay their minimum. And one time I was there, and I only needed to pay for 30 minutes. So all I did was put a quarter in. But it doesn't tell you can only pay a quarter. It says put $1 in. So I said, I'm just going to put a quarter in. Didn't say I could put a quarter in, but I did. And I just paid for 30 minutes. See, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like this misnomer. They don't share the truth. So the reason I'm saying this to you is that you might think that parking in a garage is very easy, which it is. Now, parking on the street is more of a pain in the butt because now you have to have sensors not on the top. You got to have them on the bottom of you. But how do you keep track of what's going on in a parking lot outside? Because it's a mess. It's a disaster. Well, now they have cameras, and the camera will actually keep real-time checking of your car. The camera can even notify the attendants if your car is in an unauthorized area and alert management to send a tow truck. So I get that they're trying to make things easier. I get it, okay? My concern is, are they really making things easier, or are they costing people more money? Because, you go to New York and you go to park. How much does it cost? Oh, I don't know. You see the sign when you come in, like $20 an hour, $4 an hour, $6 an hour. It's like, it's all there on the sign. Well, I didn't see the sign. Yeah, it's going to be like at least $60. Well, for how much? I don't know. You got to go walk up the signs up there. You don't know how much you charge an hour? No, man. I just work here. What's that? I just work here. I know that it's something like $5, $10, or $20 an hour. Well, that's a big difference, $5, $10. When you walk out, man, you just look over there and you look on your ticket and it'll tell you how much. And when you come back, you scan it, it'll tell you how much you have to pay.
Well, listen, John, I mean, there's so much out there. It's some people are doing righteous stuff. Some people are doing a little shady stuff, and it is all for the money. And it's buyer beware, as they say, right? If you're aware,
they're trying to make these garages and lots very efficient at a price tag between $4,000 and a little over $10,000 for a lot. You can see how that can pay off very easily, and you don't need to have staff there. You just need machines. Maybe you need one guy there to go and check something if something goes wrong. You don't need anybody.
Well, that could be an issue. I mean, from an employment perspective, that means people are going to...
The garage runs itself. It has one maintenance guy to check the gates, and that's it, and you're good. Well, but try getting in that car, and you don't have a credit card, and you want to pay cash. Oh, John, sorry, you have to pay cash at the thing back there.
Hold on. So here's the thing. You're going to park, there's no attendant. You go to stores now, it's just, it scans you and you pick the stuff and you walk away. That's it. We're not going to have jobs, man.
I don't like that. I mean, I went to one of those automated stores one time and I picked all these different things. I put them back. I walked out of the store. I had to complain to them because I wound up getting one thing of water. I wound up getting charged for $15 of other crap. I put them back, but apparently it didn't get back in the sensor right, so I still got charged for it. So I had to complain. As soon as I walked out, I was charged. I said, it's not my fault that the darn box didn't go back in the sensor the way it was supposed to. So those stores they're getting better, but they're not where they used to be. Well, they got to be a lot better.
But it's all fairly new tech, and so there are sensors.
It's new tech, and I think we're a few years away from it being reliable tech. They now even want to roll it out so people that are 21 or older, they can buy alcohol. So it'll validate you to make sure you are 21 or older. And if your pass is not, we're not going to let you into the gate area where the alcohol is. It'll check your ID when you come in, when you scan. And if your account's not for 21 or older, it's going to not allow you to get alcohol.
Oops, no more fake IDs.
Well, it's checking your Amazon account to see if you are indeed the age you say you are.
But I mean, nobody's verifying that when you actually open an Amazon account. So hey, I don't know. It's
no, they're so in order to purchase, let's say liquor, you have to have a verified age on the account. They'll either require your license or some other nonsense, which we all know they're going to extort that. So I just don't trust what people are doing with this information. The only company I really trust, and I don't trust a lot of the security companies, I trust company called Clear. You ever heard of Clear?
Yeah.
So Clear is great. Yeah. At the airport, it actually works. And they don't sell your information or give it to anybody else. You just look at your eyes, you're in, and you're done.
You get
under $200 a year.
You get VIP.
The best $200 a year you'll ever spend. A lot of people give you all kinds of faces and fingers because how did you get ahead of the line? Well, I paid $200 for the year. Oh, I would have paid $200.
Well, they have so many options. I mean, you got global entry, you have TSA pre-check, you have the Clear.
Right,
I mean,
right. They have lots of different. I like the Clear because Clear just gets you through to the line quickly. TSA pre-check is another one, but every time you fly pre-check, and let people know this, they run a credit check on you. Every time you get on the plane, they run a check to see what you purchased.
What?
They look to see what you purchased in the last 24 hours.
Hold on, tell me. I think people will be very interested in hearing about this. What do you mean they run a pre-check on your credit?
All right.
And what
So before you get on the plane, let's say I'm flying tomorrow at 6 a.m. Okay. Yeah. They're going to run a check on me probably around, 10 o'clock tonight. And they're going to check all my cards to see if I didn't purchase anything that could possibly be considered banned. They want to make sure that I didn't purchase anything. If I did purchase something, they're going to be checking extra specially when I get to the airport to make sure I didn't bring that contraband to the airport.
Okay, that's interesting.
So that's what TSA pre-check does. They're running your check on that. I am also not a fan of going through those millimeter wave devices. I think they're bad for our health. So I go through a pat down all the time. I don't like them. They're very bad. Being an engineer, millimeter wave technology is not good for our human cells. It isn't.
Bro, we're sitting in front of a computer and a bunch of,
No. I get that, but that's a concentrated. Okay, it's like sitting in a microwave oven. You wouldn't do that, right? No. So that's why it is your right as a U.S. citizen to opt out. So when I go there, I just politely exercise my right. Male, opt out. Oh, okay, you want to opt out? I want to opt out. I'm exercising my right to opt out. Okay, sir, no problem. And they're surprised, first of all, that I know this. They're also supposed to make it public knowledge that if you want to opt out, they don't do that anymore. Have a sign. If you want to opt out, let us know.
They do have one. They do have some.
I don't see signs.
I've seen it at a couple airports where it's on the side. I mean, you got to read it kind of.
You got to read it, and you got to really be squinting. Yeah, it's not anywhere like close, like they say. But and they say all these things. They don't say, and as you're in line, if you'd like to opt out, they don't say that. Just make sure you don't have this, don't have a gun, don't have this, and please, and no threats, and no verbal, no physical. They got very serious with that.
Well, they have a sign that says exactly that. Now, if you get excited with any of those agents, like you go to jail. So they made that clear now. I think 7 years or something that they put out there.
I mean, you're allowed to challenge things. It's just you can't threaten them physically or verbally.
Well,
I can say to you, look, I don't want you touching my sunglasses because they're $300 some, and every time I come here, someone steals them. Oh, okay, no problem. You have to be polite with them. That's the whole thing. And every time I've gone through, they're always very nice. In fact, when I tell them, like, oh, no, you're allowed to hold your sunglasses. You can hold them. You can actually hold your sunglasses. What do you got in there?
I've seen that happen. I've seen that. Yeah, you can keep them in your hand, whatever.
But before, they were all like, when I bring all this expensive recording equipment, because, I travel with it, what have you got? And you can't even joke. Like, what you think you're going to say, you don't dare say that. You say, I've got recording equipment. Oh, okay. Well, and be careful with that because that's worth X. Like, and then when you tell them that, they don't even want to touch it. Like they like a little afraid. Like that microphone you just played with, that microphone's X. Like, oh geez, yeah, I didn't want to touch that. I don't want to touch any of this stuff. Well, just kind of like being careful.
Well, I have to say, there's some nice ones, and
yes, absolutely,
they're very, very charismatic, and they do their job. They're serious about their job, which we want.
But they're polite. They're polite.
They're polite. They're respectful. But there are some people with some, nasty attitude that you come.
They need an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, some definitely do, and it's okay. Like I said, you don't have to argue with them. You can just, there are reporting mechanisms that you can use, and
And if you feel something's out of whack, you politely go to security and say, you know what, I think I was discriminated against. I think this procedure was not as it was supposed to be done. I just like to make this witness on file. And there's nothing wrong with that. They want that. In fact, now what they do, which I think is great, because they were having a lot of problems with pat downs. So now what they do is they have somebody watching. They call them a trainer, but really it's somebody that's always watching that person to make sure that there's a witness. There's cameras, but now you got a witness of them doing it and also witnessing that, but also me. Is everything okay, sir? Is everything all right? Everything's fine. Okay. He's going to do this. Yeah, I know it's fine. Yep. Any questions, sir? No, I'm fine. Okay, great. You can consider. And so they've changed that because I think they've almost gotten sued a few times. Well, I think they're trying.
they even explain to you, this is what I'm going to do right now.
Yes.
When I touch you, this and
Yeah,
bump it,
exactly. And I said,
exactly.
I know the procedure. Oh, we have to tell you every time. I said, can I
Yeah.
just give you a card that says I already know the procedure? Like I do this every month or two. It's like, no, sir, we have to tell you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you're gonna do this and I can. Yep, I'm okay. Yeah.
Well, in some airports, I mean, like in Newark, I mean, they have also the canine units. They walk you through them. So the
Yep.
canine
Well,
goes in.
when you do clear,
You don't have
they
to.
do it a totally different way.
Yeah.
If you're clear, they only do a half check. If you're non-clear, the canines come around you twice. So as clear, they just do one pass. If you're not clear, they come here, they come back, they come forth. So they do a little more checking if you're not a clear passenger.
No, actually, at Newark recently, what I saw is that they have this thing. So you go with two people, so just two people at a time, and
Yep.
the officer and the canine, basically what they do, they just cross in front of you once,
Yep.
then you pass, and then that's it. That's how they do it. If the dog smells anything funny or feels that there's something,
Then he
they'll
just kind of stands up or something. He kind of
yeah,
just
it stops at you and then move to the side, and then but again, I haven't seen anybody of that nature, but literally, I mean, that's what they do. People just go boom, boom. I mean, you'll be really stupid to actually go and do something there because that you're not going to be able to make it through that stuff. But I tell you,
I remember leaving on the airport. I haven't left there from a while. It's down in South Jersey, the Atlantic City airport. And tell me if this wouldn't freak you out. So you're leaving the airport, right? And you're okay with dogs and stuff. So now you walk through this crowd control system. Now they lied to you about what it is. It's not a crowd control system. See, I don't like when government or anybody lies to you. So you go into this device, okay, closes the doors for about maybe 5 seconds, and then it opens the doors. They call it a crowd control. It's not. Do you know what it's doing?
Scanning you, like, I don't know.
Yes, it's sniffing you.
Okay.
And if there's anything that's on your person, carcinogen, etc., drugs, etc., then the door will not open. So whenever I would go there, I would always go myself. Somebody else would go. We don't want to be in there with anybody else, because if you're in there with somebody else and there's a problem, then you're not getting out.
Well, I can tell you one thing that this is, for anyone that is a Second Amendment, person. If you actually go to the range or you practice, you're shooting somewhere and whatever, you take your firearm and whatever, that residual stuff that stays in your fingers, it will actually flag at the airport. So it's exactly what being one of the things that they review. So if you're gonna do that, you might as well not travel right away, because that's not going to be a good.
You got to give it a few days. I remember even taking something for my face, which is a simple cream or something. And when I went there, it caused all kinds of bells. And they said, what's this? I said, well, I had this lotion I use. What's it made of? And I told him, he's like, oh, that's what that is. I said, yeah, it's made for this. It was a prescription. He's like, okay, yep, that's what caused the flag. And it was like, and it was nothing bad, but what triggered it, because I said, why do you care so much about this? Because it's just a thing for my face. Well, to be honest with you, this is actually the same stuff they use when people are making these devices. I said, oh, yeah, this is how they pack it in this. I didn't know that. They said this is how they charge it using this kind of a chemical. I said, oh.
Well, again, I mean, listen, we respect what they're doing. I mean, we want that safety, but at the same time,
absolutely
be aware.
I think we just want to know. I'm happy they're doing it, but I think we just want to know what it is, that they're doing. That's all. I think that's an important thing. But I will tell you that traveling, I do feel a lot safer now. Even when I go through, they're nice to me. I say, thank you much for your service. Appreciate your help. Have a good day. But you get some people that, I feel like they should go back to kindergarten. And I said to the one guard, I said, when do you run remedial classes? You probably should give some of those passes out to a few of the people in the line. I don't know if they understand how to go through this properly. And they just laugh, because I'm like, they don't understand that in order to get through this properly, they need to be polite. Like, I remember I was in line one time, the ladies give me a hard time, and she's like, well, you better move, blah, blah, blah. And the ladies comes up to her and she says, look, you either gonna you better pipe down. Well, I need to get on my flight, blah, 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 blah. I did it, and she's getting all nasty. And look, you need to pipe down, or I'm going to tell you to take your crap, and you're going to go to back. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just a little upset. Okay. You better pipe down.
Well, you know what? Well, you're right. I mean, listen, I think we're going to continue with this show and this pattern here. But here's the thing. You're right. It's amazing, but people have to realize something. You go into the airport. There is a major security issue that need to be always addressed.
Yeah.
And the world is crazy as we know it. So you know what? You're in Rome. Do as the Romans do. They tell you go X, Y, Z. If you don't agree to the system, don't fly. That's it. I mean, same thing. You go to you go on an airplane, right? And you start arguing. They're going to take you out. you're coming out.
Well, there's one thing. Yeah. There's one thing to have a question or challenge something in a polite manner, but there's another to be abusive.
Well, that's the thing. People get a little aggressive. They get rowdy. They start moving and making too much noise. Okay, well FAA rules. Let's go. Let's
like that guy like the guy. What's the guy who used to work for the CIA? With Jack, remember he did all the polygraph tests. If you remember the guy from the movie, The Circle of Trust. Do you remember the movie?
Oh
Jack?
Yeah.
and you weren't a gardener. No, Jack, I wasn't. What were you? Worked for the CIA. Okay, no more questions. I asked the questions, and then one time he's there, and he gave him a truth serum. I was like, I don't think I want to be part of this family. Just they're a little nuts.
Well, but again,
but he was on the plane, and something about and they took him off the plane, and he gets to this place, and then Jack's there, and he's like, "What is it that you said you did? You don't work for a gardener, did you?" No, Jack, I work for CIA. What are you doing here? Did you do this? I did. Now, just answer my questions. You did this. Yeah. Now, just answer me. You do love my daughter. Frankly, I don't know if I want anything to do with your daughter. Okay. If I was to lighten up a little bit, would you be okay with my daughter? A little bit? You'd have to lighten up Jack a lot. Okay. If I was to lighten up a lot, would you be okay with my daughter? I guess. Okay, then Maggie gets him out of this whole thing. It was just a riot how he caused this whole thing to happen at the airport. And he happens to be the one. He's like, he never expected to see him there. He's like, I got him. This is a special case. I'm going to take care of this one. And you just have to laugh. But, the airport is very serious, obviously, and you have to respect what they're doing. But in any kind of security, I was just talking with somebody today. I can't give you the exact particulars, but this was a lady who reached out to me because, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, January is National Stalking Awareness Month. And she saw one of my articles that I wrote about imagine getting an Apple AirTag. Everybody know the Apple AirTags? Okay. Did you know that the Apple AirTag has been used to stalk thousands of people illegally?
No clue. Never heard of that.
The Apple AirTag, you know what the Apple AirTag is? Let you track keys, wallet, car, boat. It's not supposed to be used to track people. People were using this, putting it on people.
Close. Yeah.
And then now they add an option that if the owner who owns the tag gets separated from it and it travels more than a certain period of time, it starts beeping. It also, with the new update, alerts the nearest iPhones, letting you know that you're being that AirTag is now traveling with you and it's unidentified. So I told people how to go in and deactivate an AirTag. You locate the AirTag. The phone can't deactivate it, unfortunately. You find the AirTag, you don't turn it clockwise, you turn it counterclockwise. Pull the tub, pull it up, battery's out, and now that thing can't be tracked anymore. All the data is still stored. But I bring this to your attention because a lot of people on the survey that I had, 982 people read the survey. 50 people answered the question. 50 out of 982. That's low odds, isn't it? So I had the question, do you know that happened, not happen, or do you just not care? Do you know 18% of the people that voted said, I don't care? I said, I'm not here to pick anybody out, but those of you here that said you don't care are actually the ones that are next likely to get stalked. The people that don't know. The lady I was talking to today, trying to help her, her ex-husband had filed a trademark in her name. And so every time she tried to do stuff, it caused a problem, but it was her name. So I think people don't realize how important your PI is and your PHI. So what am I talking about? Your personal health information and your personal information. What is that? Your full name, your address, your phone number, your social security number, your passport number, any number that identifies you as you. And if that gets into the wrong hands, that can easily be used to steal your identity. The average cost of restoring somebody's identity, do you guys know what that is? What do you think the cost is to fix an average stolen identity today?
Thousands of dollars.
Keep going. 1 to 2 million.
Ooh, Nike's. that hurts. Just hearing about it hurts. Ouch. Okay.
So, but my warning to everyone is, not to name names of companies, but be careful who you're using. There's one company out there that was known very, very big. I'm not going to mention the name. The guy was on a truck. He said, you can use my social security number. That's how well I trust it. The company was great when he was doing that. Then a big company, I'm not going to mention their name, bought them out. They also sell antivirus software. And then something interesting happened. This company, publicly traded, outsourced the whole intelligence and call center for the tracking network for your identity out to another country. And when you call them, they spend more time trying to validate you. Okay, sir, I'd be happy to help you with that one. Can you just confirm your name and your password? I'm not giving you my password. Okay, sir, I can't help you. Well, I'm not going to give you my password. No. Well, what's your account number? I'm not going to give you my account number.
You're supposed to know that, right? Well, I mean,
okay. Well, what is your this? And so now you see where this is going. And so now you're trying to help. I'm calling because I got an alert. Okay, I need to get your account so I can validate. You just called me. I show you called me. No, you just called my number. What's your number? I'm not going to tell you. Don't you see the number? Oh, my screen's not working. I can't see the number. And you have to laugh. And this made me, again, I'm not going to mention the company, throw these people out. They were charging customers anywhere from $139 to $350 a year for this blank protection. I went with a smaller company. It's only $8.95 a month. And here's the best part. Their call center is the United States. Thank you for calling XYZ Corporation. This is Linda speaking. Am I speaking with Mr. You are? Great. I do see your account's been verified. Thank you for calling with a number. I just like to ask you, are you calling regarding the release of an alert? Yes. Great. Can you give me the alert number that we sent you? Yes. Is it this number? Yes, it is. Great. Thank you for confirming your information and the alert. How can I help you? I just want to know what happened. Well, it seems that someone tried to open up a Macy's charge card in your name. Was that you in Los Angeles, California? No, ma'am. I'm in New Jersey. Okay, then. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a block on that. Is there anything else I can do for you tonight? No. Thank you so much. Have a great night. So that's how it's supposed to work. When you call this other rinky-dink company, okay, I'm calling because of my card. Uh-huh. And what's wrong with the card? Someone's trying to open an account. You want to open an account? No. I think somebody's opening an account in my name. In your name? In my name. What kind of account? It doesn't matter what kind of account it is. They're opening the account in my name. Okay, maybe you should call the store. No, I'm calling you people because you're supposed to be watching it. What plan do you have with us? I don't know. I have the full plan. I don't show you have the plan that covers that. I have the deluxe plan. Can you hold just 2 to 4 minutes? I'm going to get someone to help you because I'm new in this department. Now, I can't make this up. And this is why this company is now extorting people for antivirus service that doesn't even work. And they're ripping you off with this identity protection service that keeps going up every year. I got a bill 4 months ago for $475 telling me that if I don't pay it, my identity will be stolen. I called them up. I said, what happened to the $99? Oh, that was an introductory plan. What about the $149? Oh, okay. Well, this is with this and with this service. I don't want any of the other crap. Okay, let me give you to our what do they call it? Our retention department. I don't want your retention department. I just want to close my account. Okay, let me give you a website and you could chat with someone. So this gets frustrating, right? Whether it's medical, whether it's health, what's our identity, but you've got to be diligent in who you choose to give your information to. If you don't, you're going to pay, and I don't mean in money. I mean in time and aggravation and then money. But you're going to pay so much. And the fact that a company that was so reasonable and was so reputable, they can go down like that. This was a U.S.-based company. Then another U.S.-based company bought them out. And then it got too much for them. And then they subbed that whole thing out to another country. And you suddenly wonder why your identity might be stolen. Because somebody clicked the wrong button.
Well,
we laugh.
Well, no, I mean, this is serious stuff. And I mean, I think it's big. I mean, PHI, PI, it's all important. And we all have to be careful how we store information. Who do we share with? And you're right. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these sites, they do kind of share your information. But some of it, I guess, depends what you have in there. But again, you have to be aware. I think buyer beware, due diligence, these are terms that we need to always be ahead of and, kind of operate, within, and that's it. But it's funny you talked about overseas, but we were talking about airport security and how important that is and how the scrutiny goes here in the States. But I can tell you, when you fly overseas, coming to the States, trust me, it's triple the amount of security you have to go through.
I know.
Any flight to the U.S. Is usually on its own terminal. They have their own system. There's like 3 layers of security. You go like through multiple levels before and after and between, before you get into a plane. It's just, and I've experienced that in a lot of countries, not just one, not two, and different parts of the world. So I didn't, in whether in Europe, Asia, Africa, I've been to those destinations, and they all actually have very difficult process to get in, when you're flying back to the States. For due reasons. Obviously, we have to make sure that whoever's getting into that plane is solid, and so it's very difficult. But you know what? It is important, safety first, and it keeps us all flying nicely, happy, and all our loved ones are in good hands, and that's it. But you're right. I mean, again, today's show we went completely off.
I have one more topic that's important before we wrap, but I think it's important to tie up the Social Security thing. We've talked about NDA, non-disclosure agreements, but that's not what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about NDAA. Does everybody know what that is? NDAA stands for the National Defense Authorization Act. That's a mouthload. But why am I going there? Okay. A lot of people think, gee, I'm going to get a camera system. I'm going to get a security system. But I'm cheap. I mean, I'm just going to buy whatever I can get at whatever stores. And I don't care. I don't need the latest and greatest. I just want something that the Chinese or other companies make, and I want the cheapest crap I can buy. That's what they say. Well, the NDAA, okay, like I just explained to you guys, is very, very serious business. The National Defense Authorization Act is a set of federal laws passed every year by Congress to lay out the annual budget for the U.S. Department of Defense. And if something is not NDAA compliant, you know what that means? You can't use it in a school or any government or any facility that does work for a school or a government. And just to tell you so that you guys are aware, the ones that you should stay away from are Huawei, HUAWEI Technologies, ZTE, Hydra Communications, Hangzhou Hikvision, and Dakua Technologies. Now, Hikvision has been known to be one of the major players for CCTV cameras. And you can get them dirt cheap all over the place. But what you don't know about Hikvision, and this is why they were yanked, they actually have bugs in their devices. Now, let's say that there's no listening devices in the camera because you don't want that. They still have one in there. And they can track, and they have a backdoor. In fact, they have a website. You can just go download a free program, put the serial number in, and bam, you're in anybody's Hikvision CCT camera system. Ouch. So,
hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. So, hey.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying, you guys, when you want to buy US, okay, Axis, other camera systems, don't go for what's cheap. And if you really want to look to see if your camera system is on or not on the NDAA. If it's not on the NDAA, that means that's a good thing. But if it is on the NDAA saying you can't buy it, that's a problem. And chances are, if you're buying something and it's overseas, well, that could be a big problem because let's face it, these companies have been in trouble for trying to steal secrets from us for a long time. I'm talking about schools, cafeterias, government agencies. In fact, the whole Hawaii technologies were forbidden in federal buildings years ago. If you went into a courthouse or a federal building with a Hawaii phone, excuse me, sir, can you leave your Hawaii phone here at the gate? You can take it when you come out. Because they didn't trust them. Trust is the most important thing for you and for the technology you choose to employ. Remember, technology is not good or bad. It's how we as individuals, as companies, as organizations choose to utilize it.
Well, like a lot of things. I mean, it's always about the user. The user, the abuser, right? So that's
the user and abuser, and they're always about the money. So we have to be careful about that.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I thank you for bringing the whole thing about the awareness and the stalking, and we've
my pleasure.
We've gotten to security. I mean, that's important to all of us. I mean,
I thought it was important.
It is, as always. You always bring some very important stuff, and we want that actually for our audiences, and hopefully, people can take that information, at least be aware. Maybe someone that did not know, or has somebody else that might need to be aware of this. You can share that information. Hopefully, you can save their life. You can save the information. You can save them a heartache. And
if you're using a parking system that is on the NDAA's no list, I wouldn't park there. So if you go to a parking lot and it seems like, I don't know, they might be a little out of the whack, take a look and see what parking system they're using and see if the NDAA has banned that from federal funding. If they have, you probably don't want to be putting your credit card in it.
John, where do they check?
Great question. So you can just Google the NDAA, and you can just Google NDAA and equipment, and every single year they have new, you can just type NDAA compliance, and every year, in fact, in 2020, they'll release what was going to be stopped very soon for 2022. Every year they update it because that controls what funding can be spent.
Okay.
Obviously, they don't want stuff that's going to cause a problem, right? You wouldn't want stuff in a jail or in a school or in a government institution, or if you're even a company that does work for those facilities, like a contractor, you definitely don't want that in your facility either.
Well, that's the way to go. That's the way we can find it. And folks, I mean, you're listening, you're watching. I mean, this is important. Take a note to it, and just keep that on your favorites, and you never know. Just check before you go. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as that, and hopefully you can make a difference in your life and somebody else's life.
But stay away from Hikvision because there's so many vendors and contractors saying, "Oh, I'll put a camera system in you for just under $1,000," and they're putting a system in that might be putting you, your family, and your business at risk.
We don't want that.
No, sirree.
All right, John. So I think we're at the end of the show here.
I think we're at our top of the hour with a few minutes to be over, actually.
Yeah, we are. Well, listen, time flies when you're having fun, and we want to talk about accountability and other things, but it took its own. And by the way, this is what you get with Double Impact. We start the conversation and it evolves, and we'll get it there at the end of the hour, and there's something that we're going to learn, and John is unique about that, and he's going to give you something new every day. So please look out for those shows on every Monday's live, and then their replays, are pretty much all over the place. So Instagram,
We're all over the place, and if you want even more content than the great content we have here, check out believemeachieve.com, because I push all kinds of content. National Daily Day and my brand new radio show, Inspirations for Your Life, Drive Time Chicago, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday and Thursdays in the late afternoon.
All right, there you have it. Any last words?
All right, everyone. Don't want to say goodbye, but we need to say goodbye. We wish you a great week. And remember, keep those goals in front of you. Make those desires become reality by scheduling them today, and take active steps each day to make them become your reality.
It is still the new year. It's just the first week of the month, or the second week of the month, and plenty of time to go ahead and to make the difference and change things. So there you have it, John. Thank you for reminding us of all that. And
my pleasure.
I'm Hurricane H, and
I'm John C. Morley, and together we make up Double Impact. And it's always our pleasure. We hope to see you again on another show real soon.
Talk soon. See you next week. And you know what? Do interact with us, because now you have the ability to call us. You have the ability to chat. And you know what? This is not about us. This is about the discussion. So if you have a topic, let's just talk about it. And, we'll just give you our opinions. So we'll talk soon. See you next Monday.
See you, everyone. Bye. Have a good week.